Good morning and welcome to the Planning Officer's hearing for October 31st, 2012. My name is Eric Krause and I will be conducting the hearing as hearing officer. We have one conditional use permit case today and relevant exhibits are posted on the panels located directly behind me. Under the provisions of Title 30, Chapter 3042 of the Glendale Municipal Code, a conditional use permit shall be granted if 4 required findings are present. For applications involving the sale, serving, or consumption of alcoholic beverages, there are also 5 criteria that shall be considered in making the 4 required findings for granting a CUP. These findings and a discussion of those findings are included in the staff report. If the evidence presented in the application and at the hearing meet the criteria, then the planning hearing officer can either approve or impose conditions for approval on the case in question. If the findings and facts are not evident, then the request will be denied. Notification of this hearing was accomplished by the use of public notices which were mailed to property owners and occupants located within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question and placed in the local newspaper. The hearing will proceed as follows. I'll read the description of the requested entitlements. The case planner will make a brief overview of the case, giving analysis and making a recommendation. The applicant will be asked to come forward stating both name and address, and will be asked to present the case within a 15-minute time limit. Others in support or in opposition to the application and interested parties will be asked to come forward to speak, stating both name and address within a 3-minute time limit. Lastly, the applicant will be given the opportunity to make closing comments, if desired, in response to testimony given by preceding speakers within a 5-minute time limit. The hearing will be closed and the case will be taken under submission. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing and will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all persons who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at this hearing or by submitting written responses and have provided their name and mailing address. The date of the decision will be the date appearing on the letter. Under the appeal provisions of Title 30, Chapter 3062 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the date of the decision. Anyone wishing to appeal may obtain forms and brochures on the procedures from the Permit Service Center located in room 101 of this building. If you wish to speak, please write your name and address on one of the speaker forms which have been provided at the front door and submit it to our planning assistant. I would like to also inform everyone that the official proceedings of the hearing are being recorded and are part of the public record. Our first case and only case today is a conditional use permit case number PCUP 1229536. Location is 6320 San Fernando Road. The applicant is a sushi joint. Property owner is Martik Honinian. Case planner is Kathy Duarte, and this is an application for a conditional use permit to allow on-site beer and wine sales, service and consumption of an existing full-service restaurant located at 6320 San Fernando Road, the IMUR, Industrial, Commercial, Residential Mixed-Use Zone, described as portions of lots 16 through 25, tract number 8485. May I have a brief staff report, please?
Thank you, Hearing Officer Krause. The sushi joint, approximately 1,560 square feet, has operated as a full-service restaurant since 2007. The sale, service, and consumption of beer and wine were previously granted by conditional use permit number PCUP 2007-22 in September 2007. The applicant is requesting to operate the restaurant in the same manner as previously approved. The existing restaurant is part of a corner commercial shopping center which contains a mix of uses. According to assessor records, this structure was built in 1930 with alterations in 1980. There are 41 on-site parking spaces and a 2-space parking exception was granted in 2001. Staff concurs with the applicant's arguments and recommends approving the conditional use permit request. The service of beer and wine at this established fast food restaurant is consistent with the general plan. It is not anticipated that the sushi I'm having trouble saying that, sushi joint will be detrimental to the community or adversely conflict with the community's normal development. This establishment has served food and non-alcoholic beverages with beer and wine for 5 years without adverse impacts. Adequate public and private facilities such as utilities, parking, and some landscaping exist. The sale of beer and wine as a complimentary service will not adversely impact sensitive land uses in the area. And then with that, staff, again, believes that the findings for the conditional use permit can be made and recommend that the request be granted.
Great, thanks. I did have one question, actually. Just the two-space exception you mentioned, that was specifically for this restaurant?
I don't recall, actually.
I could answer
Is it?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, because
thanks.
Oh, hold on just 1 minute, please.
I actually was the one applied for the
Okay.
CUP at the very beginning.
Okay, if you can, I do have the one speaker card, which I believe is the...
Yes, my name is
the-
Rick Wong.
Rick Wong, he's...
I'm a real estate broker and also a consultant for Sushi Joint Restaurant at
Okay,
6320.
Yeah, you have 15 minutes to kind of basically state the reasons why you feel that the application should be approved. Thank you.
First, when we first applied for the CUP in 2007, the applicant felt that the location was ideal for his business, and thus applied for the CUP to sell beer and wine. And he also has brought in quite an improvement into the neighborhood. The building where the business is located at one time was run down, and the owner had made a lot of improvement to the property, and that's where the two extra parking space was in question, because they did not have enough parking space at that time for as a compliance to the city zoning. So they did get two spot exception from the city planning department at that time.
And that was for the entire center or just
For the entire center,
Okay,
not for the
great. Thank
restaurant
you.
only. Yeah, for the entire center. And I and the owner feel that the renewal should be granted, because in the past 5 years there's no adverse impact to the sales of the beer and wine, and the percentage of sales of the beer and wine is less than 10% of the total gross sales. And the past 5 years has been very successful, no problem with the police department, and I don't think that the police will object to the renewal of this CUP application. So we're requesting that it be granted for 10 years, because 5 years is really short time, and for operation of the business. If the committee finds that there's no adverse impact, we request that the renewal be extended for 10 years. Thank you very much.
Okay, I did have while I was up there, I had a couple questions.
Sure.
Did you review all the conditions that are being proposed, and are you in agreement with all of those?
Yes.
Or- okay. So the other question I had, too, is because I kind of, the police mentioned that there was one complaint for parking, and I don't know if that was associated with the center itself or with the restaurant. Do you have any idea what that was
I
for?
am not aware of, no.
Okay. I don't know if they ever, complained to the property owner or anything about that or not.
That I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I don't think there's anything has to do with the restaurant, because there's plenty parking in the shopping, and I have never seen, except for Friday night, street parking has never been used.
Okay, now, where do the employees of the restaurant, do they park in the center as well? Or
They park in the center.
They do park in the center, okay.
Yeah.
So there's parking for employees and as well as customers?
Yes.
Then, okay. Let's see, I believe at this moment, that's all the questions I actually have on the site. Is there anything else? I see that we don't have any other speaker cards, so is there anything else you wish to add at this point?
No, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll be taking this case under submission, be run your decision within the coming weeks. That closes today's hearing. Thank you very much.